Good morning, everybody. This is not my brunch with Bree, but I wanted to come on anyway. I really wanted to share a live about self-compassion and practicing self-compassion. So I've had a lot of clients lately who kind of struggle with this. A lot of self-love, self-compassion, self-worth issues. Whether they're conscious of it or not, sometimes it comes out in tears when it's mentioned, or just in ways that show when they're not doing the work they know they need to be doing. So for instance, if you know that you should be doing meditations and inner child work and shadow work and you're not doing it, you have the knowledge to do it. You've seen success doing it, and yet you still won't do the work. A lot of times that is a lack of self-worth or self-compassion. And especially we get into these spirals of, we missed it one day, and then we're hard on ourselves. And then we don't feel worthy to do it the next day. You don't feel like jumping right back in the saddle, like, I'm already a failure, I missed it. So practicing self-compassion is extremely important for the healing process. It involves treating yourself with kindness and understanding, and especially in times of struggle or failure. So when you can start practicing the self-compassion and self-worth while everything's going good, it makes it a lot easier to practice it when everything isn't. And if you are struggling right now, then why not try to start? Here's a few tips for trying to cultivate some self-compassion. First, you need to be aware. So create some mindfulness around your thoughts and your emotions, but do this without judgment. So acknowledge them, let them flow in, and just, let them flow out without judgment. You don't have to judge and say that's a bad thought or, oh, that's a great thought. Just observe it. And it really allows you to recognize without being hard on yourself. So then we move into, treating yourself with some kindness. Treat yourself like you would a good friend. I know we are our own worst critics, and we say the most hurtful things to ourselves that we would never in a million years say to another person. So why do you accept you telling yourself these things? Offer yourself words of encouragement, words of comfort. Don't be so hard on yourself and criticize yourself so harshly when facing difficulties. Survival mode is such a powerful thing, and a lot of things kind of go out the window when we're in it. And a lot of things can bring up survival mode feelings. And so also recognize everyone struggles. Everyone, you might not see it. You might not see it on social media. You might not see it out and about in public, but everyone's waging a war within themselves. I haven't met a single person who is, 100% just in peace. I also haven't met too many Tibetan monks, but they're not, satisfied either. They're always striving for more, whether it's, more enlightenment or, more strength, whatever. So recognize you're not alone. Imperfection is shared. It's a human experience, and we are all imperfect, and we can only get better. So another important part to self-compassion is self-care. I've seen a lot of people, and I've talked to a few clients lately, who just don't prioritize their self-care. They do not have enough self-compassion to prioritize their self-care. This includes taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Engage in activities that bring you joy and relaxation. Prioritize your needs just as you would for others. Do you prioritize, cleaning your older family's home over your own? Do you prioritize watching your family's child instead of stepping back and caring for yourself? Do you prioritize going out and getting work done for an employer versus, just making sure you have the capacity and you take a step back for yourself? What does that look like? And are you setting time aside for yourself? We all have access to calendars right on our phones, on our computers. There's still rent and day timers. Do you block out time for yourself? Okay, so I know if my sister sees this, she is going to call me out because I have been really bad about doing this myself. So with her wonderful, loving calling out, I schedule time for myself nowadays, and I block off. Wednesdays are just for me. I try to stay off of technology as much as possible and try to do things for myself and without rush, without stress, without worry, and just have a day for myself. So to the clients who wonder why I'm never available on Wednesdays, that's why. Wednesdays are my day. I find a lot of people really need me in the weekends, and I prefer taking a day off in the middle of the week because when I go play, no one's around, and I really get to enjoy that self-care. Some self-compassion also includes setting realistic expectations. Be gentle with yourself. Set realistic goals. I feel like I need to call myself out again here too. I set super high goals because I know I can achieve them. I just need to sometimes take a step back and realize the little goals I'm succeeding at to get to these big, wild dreams that I know I can accomplish eventually. Sometimes I set them too soon. But I'm working on that. Once again, we're all human and we're all imperfect. So do you practice forgiveness in your self-compassion routine? If you miss the mark, if you set your goal and you don't make it, do you forgive yourself? Or are you holding on to guilt and struggling and angry? Do you ask for help if you need it? That was another big one for me. Wow, I didn't realize this was going to be calling myself out so much. But ask for help or guidance if you need it. I've finally been able to ask for help. I've always tried to be so independent that it came at a fault. And I want to forgive myself. It took me until this past year to forgive some aspects of myself that I created, out of survival. And it was only when I was able to forgive myself that I was really able to heal and move forward. And of course, I'm going to mention gratitude. A grateful heart is a healing heart. I talk about gratitude a lot, and it is very, very powerful. So when you take the time to either schedule self-care for yourself or do it impulsively, celebrate yourself. Be grateful that you did that. Be grateful for that experience. Be grateful for your strengths, for your accomplishments. Be grateful that you are loving yourself. So I just really wanted to get on here and share more about some self-compassion. I know it's been a pretty common topic that's come up in some of my sessions lately and even on Facebook. And I think we are so busy and so prioritized in helping others that we often do not put ourselves first. And it's a struggle, and I feel like a lot of people have this because we're shown as selfish. Well, it's not. The more you give to yourself, the more you can give others. So what do you do?